to it, he's just as good as Batman. And the thing about Deathstroke compared to Superman, Deathstroke will kill your ass. Superman, he doesn't want to kill.
Right. Well, my concern is it's not really a concern. It's more of a curiosity. What Deathstroke's beef with Batman is going to be, because I was reading they kind of rebooted the character, and there's some different I don't know his origins. Yeah. But in the original, he's trained by his wife. I mean, his future wife, and then they have children together, and then one of his children gets kidnapped, and he goes to rescue him, but right before he kills everybody, but they slit his son's throat and kills him before he can rescue. This is very early on. I don't know if they're going for some of this early stuff, or they go on a post reboot, if they're gonna do just Arkham Knight stuff. I'm very curious about that.
What sets him off? What is his reason for hating Batman? I don't know.
Exactly. That's the crux. That's what
I have a feeling in Justice League. They are gonna. I think they might cameo. They might have a cameo of Deathstroke in Justice League at some point, and maybe Batman's off about to do something. He's about to save the day somewhere else, and somehow that gets offset by Deathstroke intervening at some point, and then you get the nice little tease.
Do you think they're going to do the Injustice League?
Ooh, I don't know.
And also, why wasn't Deathstroke included in Suicide Squad?
They actually, I remember a lot of people thought in Suicide Squad 2 they'd actually showcase Deathstroke, and maybe they will. But I think Deadshot is good enough. You got Deadshot. You can't put Deathstroke.
Put those two together.
Yeah, Deathstroke would have he would have outdone the Suicide Squad. He would have been the best one on the squad.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
All right, so I think that covers Deathstroke talk. But either way, that footage, it looked like test footage to me. I don't think that's going to be an actual scene you see in the movie. But the big question is, who's going to play Deathstroke? All right.
Yes.
Now let's get on to something. I know this is your passion.
Oh, I thought we were going to ruminate on who would play Deathstroke.
I think Joe, what is his name? Joe, he was in Magic Mike 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he was in True Blood.
True Blood, yeah. He looks the part. He definitely looks the part. And I've heard, you want to hear how nerdy I'm going to get here? You want to hear how nerdy I'm going to get with the speculation?
Bring it, because that's usually hurled at me.
There are internet detectives out there. They concluded that over the past few days, right before this footage was released, that actor, he started following Zack Snyder on Twitter. The actor is in London, where they're shooting the movie, and he shaved his facial hair into a goatee that's very reminiscent to the character of Deathstroke. So all three things kind of make sense that they're probably shooting test footage with him in it.
And I guess he's just the right age, but still kind of a pretty boy.
Yeah, and you can put a little gray.
Because Deathstroke's older.
Put a little gray in that goatee.
Right.
To look the age. That's what they did with Ben Affleck. Added a little gray to that hair.
I wish he was a little more grizzled. Kind of like, Stephen Lang.
Oh, yeah.
I think Stephen Lang would be great.
Stephen Lang.
Maybe a little too old.
I think he'd make a better Cable, the character of Cable, than he would a Deathstroke. But, all right. Let's talk about something I know you want to talk about. And you're the one who made me watch the teaser trailer tonight.
Yeah.
And you know more about this than I do.
Hey, don't set me up like that.
Well, at least you watched the first season. I'm just the guy on the internet everyone's telling to watch the first season.
You haven't watched it yet?
I'm savoring it. I want to milk it. I want something to live for, and that's what I'm going to have.
Okay, well, when we get to movie talk, I don't want any accusations about not watching anything.
Fine. Okay, so the next topic is Stranger Things was renewed for Season 2, and we got a little teaser for it. So what are your quick thoughts on Stranger Things?
Well, that teaser was literally released 6 or 7 hours ago. I watched it right before I drove over here. And so they're flashing all these words in the teaser.
Yeah.
And you and I went online and looked up, and apparently those are just the titles of the episodes, which is kind of interesting. It's also interesting because why the hell did it take them so long to renew a series that was so popular? I mean, it had when the buzz, it was like two things: Suicide Squad in the theater, Stranger Things for at home. Those were the two things a few weeks ago that had all the buzz about.
Yeah, you get on the internet, you hear Stranger Things.
Have you seen it? Have you watched it? You get all these tweets. But so what took them so long to renew it? Was it just to build an anticipation factor and to have this teaser where the writers would have time to come up with a concept and come up with some, like, at least sketches for the series.
I think they wanted to make sure they had a good plan. Maybe I'm sure the initial thoughts right away were like, let's do something else with this. But what do we do is the question. And you know what? You got me thinking right there when you said that. The teaser trailer. They released the titles of each episode.
Exactly.
So maybe that was the holdup. They had to script it all out. So if that's the case, then I understand.
Or at least outline it in that way. Because that teaser, I have to admit, man, it was pretty awesome.
Even though it's only text and a logo, it does, and I like the 80s synthy kind of creepy music. I love it.
It's so much better than just coming out and saying, Hollywood, or, Variety reports that it's been renewed.
I agree, and the one thing there's a lot of titles. I think there's 9 of them that they show, and we could sit for 9 hours trying to, figure out the mystery behind each one, but we'll let other people on the internet do that for us. But what I want to talk about is
Are you trying to say we're not autistic enough for that?
I'm trying to say it's too late for that.
Okay.
But what I'm also trying to say is the first episode that they mentioned was called Mad Max, and that right there gets me excited.
Me too.
And it supposedly, I guess, it takes place in 1984, same year Thunderdome, I believe, came out.
Yeah.
And I'm curious what that means. What does Mad Max mean?
I don't know, but I like there was one, what was it, the Pumpkin Patch? Okay. And it's obviously going to be set at around Halloween time, 1984. That's going to be I think just the atmosphere is going to be perfect for me.
What time period of the year did the last season take place in?
I know it was in 83. Was
it spring, summer?
It wasn't Halloween. Remember. It wasn't Halloween.
Okay, so Halloween.
Yeah.
That right there, that's what gives me the little tingles when I think of 80s movies. I want to see the fall. I want to see the pumpkins setting out.
Yes.
Man,
I'm excited for it.
I
think now that I think about it, I think it's brilliant the way that they waited and then released this teaser as the announcement for season 2.
Comes out next year, right? They're releasing it next year at some point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you got anything to add to the Stranger Things 2?
I think that's it, unless you want to try to delve into all those titles.
Absolutely. I don't think
a lot of references there.
Yeah. The only one that stood out to me was Mad Max. There's a few other ones that might be related to movies, but the Mad Max one was pretty much the most obvious one to me. But all right. So, Crazy Jason, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Have you watched any movies this week?
I have. I have indeed.